The year was 1903. The automobile was still a novelty. Most people traveled by horse and buggy. Could anyone imagine flying? On a cold December day, two brothers from Ohio did just that. Wilbur and Orville Wright made history. Their invention would change the world. Their first flight lasted only 12 seconds. Their plane traveled just 120 feet, but those few seconds changed everything. The Wright brothers achieved what many thought impossible. They ushered in the age of aviation. Wilbur and Orville Wright were more than inventors. They were dreamers, visionaries who dared to imagine a world where humans could soar through the skies like birds. Their journey was not just about building a machine. It was about realizing a dream that had captivated humanity for centuries. From a young age, they were fascinated by flight. The sight of birds in the sky and the simple joy of flying kites sparked their imagination. They spent countless hours observing the mechanics of bird flight, trying to understand the principles that allowed these creatures to defy gravity. They read every book and article they could find. Their thirst for knowledge was insatiable. They devoured scientific journals, studied the works of earlier aviation pioneers, and kept up with the latest advancements in technology. Their home was filled with books and papers, each one a stepping stone on their path to the skies. Kites were an early passion. They built and flew countless kites, experimenting with different designs and materials. These early experiments taught them valuable lessons about aerodynamics and control, lessons that would later prove crucial in their quest to build a flying machine. The brothers were also meticulous mechanics. They had a natural talent for understanding how things worked and a relentless drive to improve upon existing designs. This mechanical aptitude was honed through years of working with their hands, taking apart and reassembling everything from toys to bicycles. They owned a bicycle shop in Dayton, Ohio. This shop was more than just a business. It was a laboratory where they could experiment with new ideas and technologies. The skills they developed here, from precision machining to problem solving, were directly applicable to their aviation experiments. This gave them the skills to design and build their own aircraft. They applied the same principles of balance, control, and efficiency that they used in their bicycles to their flying machines. Every component was carefully crafted, every design meticulously tested. The brothers were a study in contrasts. Wilbur the elder was serious and contemplative, often lost in thought as he pondered the complexities of flight. Orville, on the other hand, was more outgoing and sociable, always ready with a joke or a smile. Wilbur was the taller brother. His height and demeanor gave him a commanding presence, and he was often the one to take the lead in their public demonstrations and lectures. His quiet intensity was a driving force behind their relentless pursuit of flight. He was known for his quiet intensity. Orville was more outgoing. He had a quick wit and a knack for making friends and allies. His ability to connect with people helped them gain the support and resources they needed to continue their experiments. He had a quick wit. His sense of humor and easygoing nature balanced Wilbur's seriousness, making them a perfect team. Together, they complemented each other in ways that made their partnership incredibly effective. But they shared a common goal. Despite their differences, they were united by a shared vision and an unbreakable bond. They worked tirelessly, side by side, driven by the belief that they could achieve the impossible. They were determined to conquer the sky. Their journey was fraught with challenges and setbacks, but they never wavered. Through perseverance, ingenuity, and sheer determination, they made history, forever changing the course of human transportation and opening the skies to all of us. The Wright brothers faced many obstacles. Many people doubted their dream. Some called them the crazy Wright brothers. Funding was scarce. The brothers used their own money to finance their experiments. They faced setbacks and disappointments, but they never gave up. Their belief in themselves never wavered. They knew they were on the right track. They learned from their mistakes. They pushed forward with unwavering resolve. They refused to let doubt extinguish their dream. The Wright brothers were pioneers. They were not just ordinary inventors, they were visionaries who dared to dream of human flight at a time when it seemed impossible. Their journey was filled with challenges and obstacles, but their determination never wavered. They had no blueprint to follow. Unlike today, where we have extensive research and data, The Wright brothers had to start from scratch. They had to rely on their intuition, creativity, and relentless experimentation to make progress. They had to invent everything themselves, from the smallest components to the overall design. Every aspect of their aircraft was a product of their ingenuity. They were not just building a machine, they were creating a new way for humanity to explore the skies. They built their own wind tunnel to test their designs. This was a groundbreaking step that allowed them to understand the principles of aerodynamics better. It was through these meticulous tests that they were able to refine their ideas and move closer to achieving controlled flight. They experimented with different wing shapes and control mechanisms. Each experiment brought them new insights and closer to their goal. They understood that the key to flight was not just in the power of the engine, but in the control and stability of the aircraft. They spent countless hours observing birds. They believed that nature held the secrets to flight, and by studying birds they could unlock these secrets. They watched how birds used their wings to lift, glide, and maneuver through the air. They studied how birds soared and maneuvered in the air. This observation was crucial in helping them design wings that could provide both lift and control. They realized that the curvature of the wings and the way they were manipulated were essential to successful flight. They had many failures along the way. Their early gliders crashed. Each crash was a setback, but it was also a learning opportunity. They analyzed each failure to understand what went wrong and how they could improve their designs. But each failure taught them something new. They were not discouraged by their setbacks. Instead, they used them as stepping stones to success. They believed that every failure brought them one step closer to achieving their dream. They were tireless in their pursuit of knowledge. They worked late into the night, driven by their passion and determination. They knew that the path to flight was not easy, but they were willing to put in the hard work and dedication required to succeed. They carefully documented their experiments, they analyzed their data, they refined their designs. This meticulous approach allowed them to make steady progress and avoid repeating the same mistakes. Their attention to detail was one of the key factors in their success. Step by step, they moved closer to their goal. Each small victory was a testament to their hard work and perseverance. The Wright brothers' journey to flight was a remarkable story of innovation, determination, and the relentless pursuit of a dream. Section 5. The Wright Flyer, a triumph of innovation. The Wright brothers called their aircraft the Flyer. It was a biplane, which means it had two sets of wings. The wings were made of wood and fabric. The Flyer was powered by a gasoline engine, and the brothers designed and built the engine themselves. The Flyer was a marvel of engineering. It was lightweight yet strong. The brothers developed a system of control surfaces. These were movable flaps on the wings and tail. The control surfaces allowed the pilot to steer the aircraft. December 17th, 1903, a dream takes flight. On this historic day, the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, achieved what many thought was impossible. They turned the dream of human flight into a reality, forever changing the course of history. The brothers chose Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, for their first flight. This location was not chosen by chance. It was the result of careful consideration and planning. The Wright brothers needed a place that offered the right conditions for their experiments. Kitty Hawk had strong winds. These winds were crucial for providing the necessary lift for their glider. The consistent wind patterns at Kitty Hawk were a key factor in their decision to conduct their experiments there. It also had soft sand dunes. These dunes provided a natural cushion, reducing the risk of damage to their glider during test flights. The soft sand was an ideal safety feature, allowing them to focus on perfecting their design without fear of catastrophic failure. The sand dunes would cushion the impact of a crash. This was a critical consideration as early flight attempts were fraught with risk. The Wright brothers knew that each test flight brought them closer to success, but also carried the potential for failure. On December 17, 1903, the moment of truth arrived. After years of hard work, countless experiments, and numerous setbacks, the Wright brothers were ready to make history. The anticipation was palpable as they prepared for their first powered flight. Orville won the coin toss. This simple act determined that he would be the one to pilot their first flight. It was a moment of both excitement and anxiety. as the success of their years of effort hinged on this flight. He would pilot the first flight. With Wilbur by his side, offering support and guidance, Orville took his place at the controls. The culmination of their dreams and hard work was about to be realized. The engine sputtered to life. This was no ordinary engine. It was a custom-built, lightweight marvel designed specifically for their aircraft. The sound of the engine roaring to life was a testament to their ingenuity and determination. The flyer lifted off the ground. For the first time in human history, a powered aircraft achieved sustained flight. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to human innovation and perseverance. It flew for 12 seconds and traveled 120 feet. Though brief, this flight marked the beginning of a new era. The Wright brothers had proven that powered, controlled flight was possible. Wilbur ran alongside, taking photographs. These images would become iconic, capturing the moment when humanity first took to the skies. Wilbur's role was crucial, documenting their success for posterity. The brothers made 4 flights that day, each flight built on the success of the previous one, demonstrating the reliability and potential of their aircraft. It was a day of unprecedented achievement. Wilbur piloted the longest flight, covering 852 feet in 59 seconds. This final flight of the day showcased the true capabilities of their aircraft, setting the stage for the future of aviation. The age of aviation had begun. The Wright brothers' success on that December day in 1903 marked the dawn of a new era. Their achievement paved the way for the development of modern aviation, transforming the world in ways they could scarcely have imagined. The Wright brothers' achievement changed the world. Their invention made the world a smaller place. It connected people and cultures. It revolutionized travel and trade. Their legacy extends far beyond aviation. The Wright brothers were not just inventors. They were visionaries. They dared to dream the impossible. They inspired generations to reach for the stars. Their story is a testament to the power of human ingenuity. The Wright brothers' story is a powerful reminder. It shows us that anything is possible. What dreams do you have? What challenges do you face? How can you overcome them? Take inspiration from the Wright brothers. Learn from their perseverance. Embrace their spirit of innovation. Dare to dream big. The sky is not the limit when there are footprints on the moon. The Wright brothers' story is just one example. History is filled with tales of invention. Explore the stories of other great inventors, learn about their challenges and triumphs, discover how they changed the world, read books, watch documentaries, and visit museums. Let these stories ignite your imagination. Embrace the spirit of invention. Who knows what you might create?